to family. How do I not? Don't get scared now. I be laughing so hard my stomach hurts. Welcome to Larry's World, mother truckers. Yeah. Having on today, people. Can you dig it? Yeah. Got another live banger right quick. I think I'm going to drop two of these bad boys. It's been a little minute. But you know what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm about to sing a happy birthday to anybody born in the month of December. Right after that, we're going to go ahead and lead this thing in a prayer, followed by the topic. All right, let's get it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, my voice get a little raspy throughout the day. Sometimes sound a little bit better than that. Just depending on the time of the day. But now, what I'm gonna tell y'all, you know what I'm gonna tell y'all. That's extra blessings and prosperity over you guys' life. But like I said, all redundant life until you follow this path of Jesus Christ. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this topic off. Yo, good seeing you, this Marlon and Teresa from November Cruise. What's going on with you? Thank you for joining me, man. Yeah, I remember you guys from the cruise. You and your wife. I remember y'all. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all been since y'all been on dry land? It's been a minute. I think it's been about 3 weeks. I'm glad to hear y'all doing pretty good and everything, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this. We're gonna go ahead and start this thing off in a prayer. Then we're gonna go ahead and get the topic off. So I want y'all to bow your heads and close your eyes with me. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this day today, Lord. This day that was not promised, Lord, but you let us see it anyhow. Lord, thank you for allowing me to wake up this morning, Lord. Thank you for allowing all my subscribers to be on here with me today, Lord. If it was not for them, Lord, I would not have a channel, Lord. And I want to say thank you for that, Lord. And Lord, a lot of people have sold their souls to the devil today, Lord. I ask you will reverse that thing around and let them sell their souls over to you today, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Now we're going to go ahead and get this topic off. Okay? Now, the first topic I did, you guys didn't, if you didn't see that, you got to go back and watch it. It was a pretty good one. Okay, this the topic for this one right here is going to be called Healing is Becoming a Business Rather Than a Ministry. I'm going to say that topic again, okay? Healing is becoming a business rather than a ministry. I'm gonna get some of these shout outs in a minute, y'all. Well, Larry, what do you mean by that? A lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, what I need you guys to understand, church, yes, guys, granted, church is a great place to be, but church people are making it about a business now. You know, they got it set up now where the only way you can join certain avenues and stuff in church, you have to be, they want you to pay your tithes and offering. This is why a lot of people stop going to church because they're trying to tell people that you can't join this organization unless you're not paying your tithes. Where they do that at? Make it make sense. Don't make no sense. This is why a lot of people fall away from church. Now, granted, I'm not telling you you never fall away from Jesus Christ, but this is why a lot of people stop going to church because they're making it a business. I've been to several churches too as well where, you know, they doing food boxes and stuff like that. Or we need to see your ID. We need to see your residence. They might not have a place to stay. You know, they might not have a place to stay. So we got to stop being so judgmental and be willing to help people out. Okay, we got now I'm gonna get some of these shout outs in right quick. Okay, ready to go back. I know that's right, Yaman. I know that's right, bro. Ready to go back myself. We got a computer ward on here. If you're gonna be a computer ward, if you don't like my topic, simply don't click on. You are a computer ward, and you probably the one I'm talking about. Stay tuned. Yeah. If you don't like the content, goodbye. See ya. It wouldn't want to be here. Goodbye. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna continue on. Like I was saying, I've been to several churches where they do this stuff like this right here. Oh, you can't join it this because you didn't pay your tithes and offering. Since when does going to church became a business? That's what I want to know. Since when did going to church become a business? That's what I want to know. Anybody got any answers about this topic right here? Hand Pro, what's going on with you? 1, 2, 3, what's going on with you? Thank you for joining my channel. Okay, Sarah asked me if you were a ruler of your own country, what would be the first law you would enforce? The first law I would enforce. I mean, I wouldn't be taking. I wouldn't take away no food stamps or nothing like that. I would. Everybody need to eat. You know what I'm saying? I would bring back EBT food stamps because that should not be a law that's been pushed around and shoved around. That would be the law that I would change. Everybody would eat. You know what I'm saying? Rich, homeless, poor, everybody would eat. I would bring housing down. I would bring the housing market. I would make it reasonable price. That's some of the things that I would change if I was the ruler. Okay? Hope you're having a great day today, sir. Hope all of y'all having a great day today. But like I said, y'all, don't let this, what I'm telling y'all, be a reason to stop praising God, okay? I know it is becoming a business, y'all, but when you think about it, y'all, what business is not, well, everything that we do now is becoming a business in sports, like I said, church, everything is a business now. That's just the world that we live in, and we have to just adjust and adapt to that. But do not let these type of things change our character, okay? I'm gonna say it for the people in the back. Do not let the things that's becoming a business corrupt our character. Don't let that happen, okay? We got to stop doing that right there. Happy holidays to you as well. Um, Jay Plays 41. How old are you? 6. Do you know how old are you? I'm old enough. How old are you? Yeah. But like I said, I mean, we just gotta. It's baffling to watch what's going on in the world, especially with these churches and stuff like that. I've never seen that growing up. I don't remember seeing that growing up. Like, if you wanted to be a part of a ministry, if you're going to church, to me, if you're doing anything voluntarily in the church, that should be enough. And in God's eyes, that is enough. The problem is everything is self-made and man-made. So in the image of worldly things, they want your money. You know what I'm saying? They want your money. And that's really what it's all about. Like I said, it's becoming a business. People are selling things in church, and that is another big no-no. People should not be selling things in the church. The church is a place where you should be giving things away voluntarily. You shouldn't be selling t-shirts and all that in church. God does not like that, okay? I'm gonna just tell you that right now. We shouldn't be in church doing that anyway. Uh, oh, God, thank you for this good heart. Bless him for wanting to give back and guide him to choose kindness. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, that's just me, man. I never believed in going to church selling things. Like I said, when I was younger, I did not know. So yes, I was doing that, but I didn't know. But I'm on here to tell you guys right now, in the Bible, it says you're not supposed to be doing that. But when I'm gonna find it in the Bible, and I'm gonna get back with y'all. It is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. But you're not supposed to be doing that, y'all. If you want to sell things in the church, sell something, you should be going elsewhere to do it. You shouldn't be doing it on church grounds. That's just not, it's not cool to be doing that. I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay, I am 69. Can you tell me how old you are? I'm 37. I'm 37 years old, brother. You say you're 69 years old. Okay, that's a long life, man. Keep on living, brother. God, please watch over him, protect him, guide him, and help him make better choices. Keep him safe and surrounded by your peace. Amen. I received those blessings. It's because I stole from the collection plate. I mean, we all have a past, brother. I don't judge nobody. You just got to pray about it and ask God to forgive you. You say you stole from the collection plate. But listen, I don't judge you, man. You got to ask God for forgiveness on that, brother. You just ask God for forgiveness, but when we do ask God to forgive us, we can't continue to go down that rabbit hole. What do I mean by that? Continue to doing the same things over and over and think God is not going to lay his hands on us. We keep doing things. It's just like when we were children. I need y'all to understand something. When we were children, if our parents tell us not to do something and we continue to keep doing it over and over, we're going to get our ass tore out the frame. So we have to understand, even with Jesus Christ, he's the same way. We keep doing something over and over, and then we got to expect that we're going to be punished for those things, okay? So just ask God for forgiveness and move on. But don't continue to go down the rabbit hole. You tell the truth. My mom, as a first lady, never believed in selling church. That's it. Yeah, that's it, Teresa. I mean, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, who am I to judge? I did this at one point, but once we know better, Teresa, we have to do better. A lot of times, people they don't want to grow. They don't want to know better because they know there's higher expectations expected out of them, as it should be, rightfully so. So a lot of people would prefer to stay stagnant and not learn new things. But yeah, you shouldn't be doing that in church. And I condone. I don't. I'm not going to judge nobody for doing it. But when you see these type of things in church, people selling things, T-shirts, hats, I advise you to run. You know what I'm saying? And go the other way. Don't partake in that. Don't partake in that. Jakester 12321. What's going on? Real steal from somewhere. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Jakester, what are you trying to say here? You say real, I'll steal from somewhere else. No, you shouldn't be. Okay, that's what you said. You shouldn't be stealing at all, brother. I mean, why do you want? So you shouldn't take things that don't belong to you. Okay, so I don't condone that right there. All right, Teresa Harris. Marlon and I really love meeting you and your wife on the Venetia. It was nice meeting you guys as well. It was nice meeting you guys as well. Hopefully we can all continue to connect. Hopefully we'll be able to come see you guys again in the future on a future cruise. But this is what I do here. Like I said, my wife and I, we're content creators, and I love to get on here and converse with you guys. Because like I say all the time, if it wasn't for you guys, and number one, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to wake up, I wouldn't have a channel. So I want to say thank you guys for joining me on here today. Do you have any questions for me? Teresa, anybody have any questions about this topic today? Anybody have any questions? How am I supposed to, but if I ain't, okay. He said, how am I supposed to buy if I ain't got no money? Man, you got to go out here. That's still not an excuse, though, Jakester, to take things that don't belong to you, man. You have to go out here and find a job. Even people with taking from people that taking things from people, and it does not belong to you. You got to think about it. You wouldn't want nobody doing that to you. Okay, what if that was your brother or your sister somebody had stole from? You would be ready to go out and seek vengeance. So you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. Okay, so there's not an excuse to take things that don't belong to you. That's why they have jobs. The job may not pay what you want, but it's better to have a job where you can go out and get your own things rather than take. Don't condone that right there, brother. I'm not gonna sit here and make what you're looking for. You're in the wrong place. Okay, I love you, and I'm not gonna get on here to tell you anything wrong. If anything, I'm gonna uplift you and give you encouraging advice. Okay. So I want you to do better. Okay, we can't in this world, guys. A lot of people, we want Jesus Christ to show us empathy, but we're not willing to show empathy for other people. We got to make this thing make sense. We're constantly taking things that don't belong to us. We're not going to get the blessings and breakthrough if we continue to go down this rabbit hole. Now, when I say people, guys, but yet we're doing these things that we shouldn't be doing. Like I said, selling stuff in the church when you should be giving it away. You telling people that they can't be a part of a ministry because they ain't paid. They keeping records and tabs of what you paid in church. Make that make sense. This the times we living in where they're taking records and tabs of what you pay at the church. That's crazy. And I'm gonna explain something else to y'all too. Some siblings has put me on to game. When you pay your tithes in church, do not just put your money in the collection plate. I'm gonna say it from the people in the back. When you pay your tithes in church, do not just put your money in a collection plate. You write your name on an envelope. Some of these churches now, they're more upscale where now you can just, you can do it online, however you do it. But you want to have record of these things, guys, because it's a business. So this way, if you do want to join something in the church, you can say, well, wait a minute. I paid this day. I paid that day. But if you just throwing stuff in the collection plate, they have no record of these things, okay? Teresa Harris, she said, I was raised be in a smaller church. That's right. I mean, the smaller churches, I don't want to say mom and pop because, but like I say, you call it mom and pop, it's more like a smaller organization. But I feel like the smaller churches are better because they reach out to the people more. You know, I like the smaller churches better too because they seem like the more greedy they get. You know, somebody, if you agree with this, tell me you do. If not, then hey. But to me, I feel like the smaller churches are better and they have more empathy for the congregation. Okay, Teresa Harris. When you have multiple churches, and honestly don't know your members, to me that's just a business. That's it. And I'm not going to call churches out, but there are several churches, Teresa, that I have attended in the past. My wife and I, where the church is so big. You know what I'm saying? That they can't even reach out to the congregation. That is a very big problem. Because to me, when I go to church, I want to be able to shake the pastor's hand. That's what we have gotten away from in 2025. Where everything is, online churches and nobody want to get dressed up no more to go to church. That's becoming a real big issue in 2025. And it's not doing us any justice when we got the next generation right behind us watching this. It's just a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. We have to do better as adults and show this new generation the way, the new world, whatever you want to call it. We have to do better as individuals. But if we're selling things and not giving back to the needy and the less fortunate, how can the next generation learn? They're not going to learn if they're watching us do this right here. We're just ruining the next generation. Okay, so us as people, guys, we have to do better here. Okay, we have to do better. I'm not calling nobody out. I'm saying us as people in general, we have to do better in this aspect of life right here. A little thirsty, y'all. Need me a little water. Gotta have me a little water. But yeah, y'all, I mean, like I said, we don't let these things hinder us from going to church. We can't let it hinder us though. And if you don't like the particular church home that you're going to, simply there's several churches out there, y'all. Just go to another church. Don't stop going to church because you had a bad experience at that particular church, okay? I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. Don't stop going to church because you had a bad experience. Simply seek another church home. Okay, so I hear a lot of people say that they don't believe in Jesus Christ because they had a bad situation in a certain church home. That is a very poor excuse right there, y'all. And I'm not going to let people sit here and use that as an excuse. That means a lot of people are just lazy. A lot of people are just lazy and they just give up on the first chance, first time harsh. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, a lot of people just give up, and that's just an excuse and an alibi to just say they don't want to go to church. Now, I don't knock nobody that does not want to go to church. Now, granted, you don't have to go to church to be a Christian, okay? I need you guys to understand that as well. A lot of people feel like, well, if I don't go to church, I'm going to be punished. No, God simply looks at our heart. What do you mean by heart? He looks at how we treat people, the fruits of our labor, the fruits that we bear. That is what Jesus Christ looks at. He's not looking at no three-piece suit, no gator shoes, and how much money you got in your account. Jesus Christ does not care about that. That is worldly things. That's what the world looks at. Jesus Christ don't look at that. Now, if you have to give, then give it. But you don't have to break the bank when y'all go to church. And Jesus Christ didn't say be a fool. I need a lot of y'all jokes to understand it, because a lot of y'all think you're going to give up your whole check. Jesus Christ didn't say do that. He didn't say go to church and give up your all. He never said that. He looking at you like you crazy. He didn't say give all your rent money. He ain't never say that. If you got $5 or whatever you got left, then you pay that. But he never said break the bank. Jesus Christ didn't want you doing that. That's worldly people, worldly folks got us thinking that we're supposed to give our all. And that is incorrect. You ain't got to do that. You give what you have. But like I said, I don't care if you got 4 pennies and that's all you have, but you make sure you put it in an envelope. You make sure you're getting record of this stuff. That way, in the near future, if you need help from these church people and they say, oh, we cannot help you, well, wait a minute. This is the date I paid here. I paid this date, that date. You got all your stuff on file. Okay, a lot of my family members, my wife taught me these things right here that I'm telling y'all, because I would go to church a lot of times. My wife say, did you put it in the collection plate? Well, yeah, that's all I did. She was like, no, you have to start jotting these things down. You know, they treat it like a business. You need to treat it like a business. I'm just being honest. But, God number one, but you got to treat it like a business. That's the way they doing it. You got to play the game that they playing. I don't know who this message is for. It's sad that you got to do that, but that's just the way it is. But I don't want y'all giving up and stop going to church because you're having a bad experience. I used to be this way. When times would get hard at a certain church, or they wouldn't allow me to do such and such, such and such, I'm ready to run off to another, just stop, you don't want to read your Bible no more. You can't be that way, because you're going to have these type of people everywhere in the world you go. You can go in Japan, China, Asia, Europe. There's always going to be some type of demonic spirit everywhere. But do not give up on searching for your new church home. And like I say all the time, guys, I like being redundant because someone needs to hear this message. That does not mean that you stop worshiping Jesus Christ. He needs to always be put on the throne. He's always number one. Jesus Christ is number one, at least in my life. I don't know the God you serve, but I serve him, y'all. But we got to understand he has to be always put number one at all times, okay? But what I need y'all to do is I need y'all to do me a very serious favor. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe button. That way when I drop these vids, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are the first to be notified. I can't be bought. I can't be replicated. I can't be duplicated. You will never find another content creator like me. Now, granted, there is some great content creators, but none like me. This is why you need to hit the like, share, subscribe button. But if you don't, I'm not going to lose no sleep. I promise you that. I'm going to sleep just fine. I'm going to sleep just fine, baby. Robert, what's going on with you? What's going on with you, brother? Thank you for joining my channel today. Hope you're having a blessed and marvelous day today. Let me get you up to speed right quick because I'm getting ready to get up off of this thing. Today, we're just talking about healing is becoming a business rather than a ministry. You'll notice a lot of these churches now, they're healing people and stuff, but they're only doing it for the money. And I don't advise anybody to partake. And I'm not going to call churches out. I'm not going to do that. But I know you guys have seen it all the time. A lot of these preachers and pastors and stuff, they getting up there and just doing these healing things just for money. And these people right here, they have to answer to Jesus Christ on Judgment Day, y'all. I would advise you guys, do not partake in these things, okay? This is right here is devilish things if you're doing it just for the money. Now, granted, I understand that church is a business. I do understand it is a business. The pastor does have to get paid. I'm not trying to tell you guys not to put nothing in the collection plate because it is a business. But you do not have to break the bank to do this. And when you do pay your tithes and offering, make sure you're getting credit for it. Just stop throwing your money in the envelope. Just stop putting your money in the collection plate and you don't have no record or no type of track record to keep this stuff in tabs. You got to have tabs on this stuff, okay? Pay your money, but make sure you putting it in an envelope or a QR code or whatever, however you have to do it. Because it's a dog-eat-dog world. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. We live in a dog-eat-dog world. So unfortunately, you got to play the same game. But like I said, that people going to church now and they looking who got the nicest suit on, the nicest pair of gaiters, and who's driving the nicest car, y'all. That's not what church is supposed to be about. We're supposed to be going to church to get a breakthrough, a blessing. We're not supposed to be going to church looking at going to church now. I feel like competition. They want to know what type of work you do, and or what type of car you driving, and how many people stay in your house. It's none of your business. I don't know who this message is for. But we got to stop going to church for these things. This is why a lot of people fall off the wagon from going to church, because there's a lot of hypocrites and stuff in church, and it make people not want to go. Okay, but like I tell y'all all the time, you don't have to go to church to be a Christian or believe in Jesus Christ. I'm going to say it again. You do not have to go to church to be a Christian to believe in Jesus Christ. But you got to stay in that word, though. You got to isolate yourself. Y'all, what do I mean by isolate? From time to time, y'all, when I say isolate, I'm tongue tied. Standoffish towards people, not talk to people. That's not what I mean, y'all. A lot of time we have to cut away from a lot of the noise, distraction, music. When we got all this stuff in our ear, y'all, we cannot hear what's going on. How can you tell what's real and what's fake if you're constantly around fake things? You can't tell what's a business if you're around a lot of music and a lot of people who just isolate yourself. Go in a quiet place, pray to God, and just pray to Him. Give 5 minutes of their day, but they looking for a breakthrough. That's crazy. It's just for entertainment. Just for entertainment. And if you're going to church for that, you're going for the wrong reason. You might as well stay your butt at the house. Uh, you might as well stay at home if you're going to look to know how I rock. The ones who've been rocking with me for a while, I'm not going to do it. I haven't started doing it, and I'm not going to start today. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, I am done with this thing. I'm going to get on up off of here.